Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of IoT Trailblazer podcast. I'm your host Mannan Jain, and today we are going to have a power pack session when we deep dive into power generation industry. For this, we have our guest Mr. Sachin Simant with us. Sachin leads the strategy and digital at Cummins India Limited. Welcome to the show, Sachin. So good to have you here.
Thank you so much, Mannan.
So Sachin, before we get into our discussions, I would like to understand a bit about you, how your role has evolved into today's role at Cummins.
So once again, thanks a lot, Mannan. It's a privilege to be here. Talking about me, I bring around 25 years of industry experience spanned across multiple functions like engineering, product management, planning, program management, sales and marketing, across different segments dealing with engines, and also across different geographies. In Cummins, I have had a stint of 15 years, a joyful and enriching experience, where also I had the opportunity to work on multiple products, multiple emission changes, and across regions, which has helped me to be where I am today, leading the strategy, product planning, and digital role for Power System Business Unit of Cummins in India.
Wow, Sachin, 25 years. So you have really seen this industry growing. So in line with that, what is your take on industry right now? What status it is at, and how do you see in the foreseeable near future?
Talking about power gen industry per se, as you rightly said, I had the fortune to stay associated with this industry almost for last 25 years. This industry has gone through a significant transition in the last couple of years when we adopted the latest emission change, which is CPCB4 IV, and then that has really set the industry growing. Talking about numbers, this industry in terms of revenue is around $1.3–1.4 billion. With respect to volume, it is in excess of 100,000 numbers per annum, and has been evolving very well, projected to continue to grow at a 5–6% CAGR, because reliable power and energy resiliency is an era which continues to drive demand for this industry, and it is also adopting very well and very fast to the changing environment of hybrid power solutions.
A good CAGR for this industry in the coming years. You touched upon briefly about the regulations which are prevalent in this industry. Can you tell us a little more about the regulations around diesel generators, especially the CPCB4 norms?
For a long time, India as a region for the power gen market was an emission lagging region, but with the adoption of CPCB4 IV regulation, which we transitioned around 23-24 timelines, we are one of the world's leading emission region in terms of emission for power gen market now. And with this, there are significant element of changes and benefit that have come along. So now these are all connected units which are largely electronic engines with a smart ECU and smart connected system. They are also connected for the end user and the manufacturer through the IoT now, because the compliance also governs certain aspect of the onboard diagnostics, and the product while it is running need to continue to stay within the band that it is designed for. And while doing all of this, it is also optimized for a better fuel economy. So all in all, the latest emission change has brought something which is more exciting and beneficial for all the stakeholders. And as we continue to go along, we expect to have harmonization of the emission norms across the globe. And because we are an emission leading market, India can also be a source for leading emission products across the globe.
Sachin, you mentioned that how digitalization and gathering of this data is helping not only the norms but also OEM from data perspective. Coming to that, how do you came to this collaboration between JioThings and Cummins for providing these digitalization services to your end customers?
Well, to answer this question, Manan, I'll go slightly back into the history. And as the new emission norms were getting formalized, we already had this input that we would need the digital solutions, connectivity for the CPCB4 IV. And as Cummins, we wanted to have a partner who brings agility, who brings scale, and also has an ability to ramp up from a pilot to production phase at a real short time. To most of these requirements, we found Jio to be a perfect match, and that's where we started. And our experience of working with Jio over this transition and as we settle into the new environment of CPCB4 Plus has lived to all those expectations. And if anything, we'll continue to grow because there are still quite a few things for us to achieve as we go into the future.
Thanks, Sachin, and it's so good to hear good things about JioThings. And in fact, my next question was around this, and I think you've answered it already. So I will jump on to my further questions. What lies ahead, Sachin, in terms of power gen industry? What future do you see coming up in these technologies?
As I said before, this industry is now very soon adopting the mode of hybrid power. And when I say hybrid power, we all know India has largely adopted the renewable energy sources like solar and also in pockets wind. When these energy sources are getting added, they are also required to stay connected and clubbed with the conventional sources of electricity like grid and genset. In addition to this, there is also a new thing called battery energy storage solution. So generation, storage, and then the most important thing that is critical is connectivity and integration of all these different energy resources to work together. That's the new era where the power gen industry is now embracing at and getting ready for having the kind of microgrid or connected solutions as an offering and provide each customer the most optimized use of their assets.
We've generally seen that with renewable sources of energy coming in, we treat it like a competitor to power gen, especially the diesel generators and all. And I think you've kind of pointed it at that these go hand in hand and they work together. Can you dwell a little more upon that?
This is one of the most common questions that we keep coming across, that will the BESS replace the power gen or genset as a product in the market? And our honest answer to it is no. And if anything, we feel very positive about it because these technologies are not essentially competing with each other, but they are complementing each other. They have to coexist and very simply put, for example, a battery energy storage solution is a storage device and a generator is a generation device. Both have their own pros and cons, and if they work together, they can actually solve many problems for the end user. So they continue to coexist and will continue to coexist. Clubbed with that is your renewable source of energy, may it be solar, may it be wind. They also have challenges around intermittency, and that's where all of them put together forms the most reliable and comprehensive grid solution, and that's why they pose more opportunity than any kind of threat for the power gen industry as a whole.
Wow, Sachin, you have given a great perspective that they are not competitive technologies, they are rather collaborative technologies. I think this is very important here. Sachin, we are going to shift gears now a little bit. In your industry, as we say, we are going on a higher RPM. So this is going to be a rapid fire round where I will ask certain questions. And whatever comes to your mind as the first thing, short answers, do not think too much, and we'll go from here, right? So, Sachin, my first question is, one word that describes the future of power generation.
Clean.
Clean, wow. What is the biggest challenge in managing digital technologies?
Change management.
And the biggest misconception about diesel generator?
They pollute environment.
Okay. My question is, if you could instantly solve one industry challenge, what it would be?
Quality of fuel across the country.
Which industry, in your view, relies most heavily on diesel generation?
Quite a few, but to name, it's like data center, infrastructure, and healthcare.
My next question is, Sachin, the most exciting digital technology you want to see in your industry?
A digital twin of a running genset.
Lastly, if power generation was a superhero, what would its superpower be?
Always on.
Always on. Exciting. Sachin, great answers and real fun. So I will move back to our previous session now. We'll continue our discussion from there. If the business or any business for that matter wants to start into digital power generation assets, what would be your suggestion to them?
As I said, the power gen industry is on a cusp of a transition. More and more, this is going to be a kind of microgrid or grid solution kind of requirement. And as I said, it really brings an interesting opportunity with it, because when you have multiple energy resources or different energy resources, and they have to operate together as one grid. The key is how efficiently and effectively are they connected with each other, and how are you really governing the operating principles of that energy resource. So the key is have the best of the connected devices and have a digital layer which is smart to make sure the end user gets the most optimum cost of electricity that they provide through that grid solution.
Superb answer, Sachin. And we generally end our session by this question, and I'm asking the same question to you. You must have read some books, and any book that have come across and really impacted you in a positive manner, which you want to share with our viewers here.
Absolutely. And as you say, leadership or learning is a continuous process. So I am also on my own journey. So one of the books called Good to Great by author Jim Collins is one book which I would highly recommend for the content on how leaders make difference in organizations to become great from being good. So definitely I would recommend the viewers to read the book Good to Great.
Great choice, Sachin. And in fact, it was fantabulous talking to you over here. Thanks for giving all your time and your energy to this.
Thank you so much, Mannan, for calling me here. Pleasure is all mine, and it was really interesting and sharing the information with you. It was fun. Thank you so much.
And a big thanks to all our viewers and listeners for watching this show. And stay tuned because we will be back with more such exciting episodes. Till then, bye-bye.